When my boyfriend Jake and I moved to the quaint town of Pinebrook, we were excited to furnish our new home with unique finds. Pinebrook was known for its charming antique shops, each brimming with history and character. It was on a sunny Saturday that we stumbled upon Timeless Treasures, a dusty old shop tucked away on a narrow side street. The shop's bell tinkled as we entered, and a musty scent filled the air. Shelves overflowed with ancient artifacts, faded photographs, and worn-out furniture. An old man, the shopkeeper, greeted us with a toothless smile. His eyes, though kind, held a hint of something unsettling. As we browsed, a small, intricately carved wooden box caught my eye. It was adorned with strange symbols and looked incredibly old. "This would look perfect on the mantel," I said to Jake. The shopkeeper's smile faded when he saw what I was holding. "That box is not for sale," he said quickly. "But it's just sitting here," I protested. He sighed deeply, his eyes narrowing. "Very well, but be warned, it has a dark history." Intrigued and slightly amused, we purchased the box for a bargain price. Once home, we placed it on our mantel and admired how it added a touch of mystery to our living room. That night, however, we began to understand the shopkeeper's warning. I awoke to the sound of whispers, soft and indistinct, like a distant conversation. I glanced at Jake, who was sound asleep, and brushed it off as a figment of my imagination. But the next night, the whispers grew louder. This time, Jake heard them too. "Do you hear that?" he whispered, his eyes wide with fear. I nodded, my heart racing. We followed the whispers to the living room, where the box sat innocently on the mantel. The whispers stopped abruptly as we approached it. A chill ran down my spine, and I felt an overwhelming sense of dread. Over the next few days, the box seemed to move on its own. We'd find it in different places around the house, always accompanied by the whispers. One evening, I decided to open it, hoping to uncover the source of the disturbance. Inside, I found a piece of parchment covered in the same strange symbols. As I unfolded it, the whispers intensified, surrounding us like a sinister chant. Jake grabbed my hand. "We need to get rid of it," he said, his voice trembling. We drove to a nearby lake, intending to throw the box into the water. As we stood at the water's edge, a violent wind whipped around us, and the whispers turned into desperate cries. With all my strength, I hurled the box into the lake, and the cries ceased instantly, leaving an eerie silence. Relieved, we returned home, hoping our nightmare was over. But that night, I was jolted awake by a cold, clammy hand on my arm. I screamed, waking Jake, who turned on the light. No one was there, but the whispers returned, more malevolent than before. Desperate, we returned to the antique shop the next day, seeking the shopkeeper's help. The shop was closed, and a neighbor told us the old man had passed away years ago. Confused and terrified, we realized we were on our own. I began researching the symbols, discovering they were part of an ancient curse linked to a long-forgotten tragedy. The box had once belonged to a grieving mother who used it to curse those she blamed for her child's death. Her spirit, consumed by vengeance, was bound to the box, tormenting anyone who possessed it. Determined to break the curse, we sought the help of a local historian who specialized in the occult. He advised us to perform a cleansing ritual and bury the box in consecrated ground. With his guidance, we followed the ritual, chanting incantations to banish the spirit. As we buried the box in an old churchyard, a final mournful wail filled the air before everything fell silent. We stood there, exhausted but hopeful, feeling the weight of the curse lift. Back home, the atmosphere had changed. The whispers were gone, and a sense of peace settled over our home. Though we never returned to Pine Brook, the experience left us forever wary of the hidden histories that lie behind seemingly innocent objects. The cursed box and its tragic past served as a haunting reminder of the dangers lurking within the shadows of forgotten things.